afternoon. I call this meeting of the Committee on Housing and Homelessness Prevention to order. We do have a quorum. Our first bill, it will be Senate File 2950. Senator Pappas, welcome to the committee. To your bill.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair and members of the committee. Members of this committee hear a lot about the need to create more opportunities for affordable home ownership. Escalating prices, stagnant wages, and rising interest rates have created a challenging environment. For low-income households, the problem is even more acute. We have many tools available in our housing toolbox. This bill illustrates just that, and organizations such as the Rondo Community Land Trust are actively working to assist first-time home buyers and members of historically marginalized communities in achieving the American dream. Senate Bill 2950 allocates $11.5 million of one-time funding to the Rondo Community Land Trust to support a home buyer initiative pilot program to expand affordable home ownership opportunities in Ramsey and Dakota counties. The pilot would provide financial assistance and other resources to home buyers to lower the cost of home ownership using the land trust model and ensure affordability for households with an adjusted income at or below 115% of the area median income. The requested amount demonstrates the need based on an existing wait list of households ready to purchase a home. Affordability remains a significant barrier to home ownership, and we cannot simply build our way out of the housing crisis. Programs like the Rondo Community Land Trust help keep housing affordable for first-time and historically excluded buyers in a tight housing market. CLTs, or community land trusts, are a proven model for sustainable, affordable home ownership. The Rondo Community Land Trust has been preserving long-term affordability by maintaining ownership of the land while allowing homeowners to build wealth through home equity. With me today is Mickey Griffin, who is the Executive Director of the Community Land Trust, to speak more to the bill.
Thank you.
Very good. Please introduce yourself and proceed.
Awesome. Hi, I'm Mickey Griffin. I am the Executive Director of Rondo Community Land Trust. I also serve as the chair of the Minnesota Community Land Trust Coalition, a coalition of 14 community land trusts. We all serve just about every county in the state of Minnesota. And I also want to thank Senator Pappas for championing this bill. Senator Pappas has already set the stage around, and we all know the dire needs there around housing, including more housing choices. And I'm here today to ask you to support Senate File 2950. Rondo Community Land Trust is an affordable housing and commercial community land trust serving the city of St. Paul, Ramsey County, and Dakota County. We were founded in 1993, and we were the first community land trust in the state of Minnesota. We were also the first community land trust in the state of Minnesota to apply the community land trust model to commercial uses. We build community wealth through the creation of permanently affordable homeownership opportunities, rental opportunities, commercial space, and stewardship of community lands. The land trust model lowers the barrier to homeownership. We take one-time investment, and make that permanently affordable for generations. When the state invests in the community land trust model, they are using taxpayer dollars wisely, helping families build wealth and have the opportunity to pay it forward should they move out of their home. When and if a community land trust family sells, they receive the cost of any of their investment that they put in and 25% of any of the appreciated value of the home, and the money goes back into the home for the next low to moderate income home buyer. This ensures the housing remains affordable for the next family. Affordable homeownership fuels economic growth, fuels great paying jobs, and small business successes and academic achievement. Rondo CLT has been piloting the Home Buyer Initiated program for some time now. When our home buyers are approved for a mortgage, they're approved for, on the high end, a mortgage of $129,000. This program allows us to leverage the home buyer's mortgage by giving them an additional grant to have more buying power in the open market. Further, the program provides a rehab grant post-purchase to address deferred maintenance and to ensure the house is mechanically sound, to ensure that the home buyers are successful in their home for the first 10 years. In 2024, Rondo Community Land Trust received enough funding to support 31 homebuyer initiated families. We closed on 31 homes within 6 weeks. putting families in homes immediately and being able to take advantage of moving along their own economic continuum. Through our pre-purchase stewardship programming and education, along with partners, we have over almost 100 families waiting on this wait list, and many more who are in the process of doing what they need to do to live their American dream. To illustrate how this funding works, we had let me introduce you to one of our folks who's here, who's Rakik, but I want to end this by saying this bill is a strategic investment in addressing Minnesota's homeownership disparities and ensuring that more families, especially those historically excluded from homeownership, have access to stable housing. We urge you to support this critical appropriation and stand with us in advancing equitable housing opportunities across Minnesota. I want to thank you for your leadership and your commitment, and thank you for the opportunity to testify today. And Senator Pappas, I want to thank you again for supporting this bill.
Thank you for your testimony. I neglected to announce just for all testifiers, we have a lot to get through today. We have many testifiers and we want to hear from all of them. So we are going to ask folks to try to stick to 2 minutes for your testimony. You will hear a timer when you get to that point, and we'll just ask at that point if you would wrap up your thoughts. So thank you very much. Please introduce yourself and proceed.
Rakik Undershaw, Chair Port and Committee Member. My name is Rakik Undershaw. I'm here today urge to you to support Senate File 2980 and tell you how the Homeowner Initiative Pilot Program through the Rondo Community Land Trust has helped me, my family, build generation wealth. Ever since my daughter was born, I want to purchase a house, spend many years living in a one-bedroom apartment. Since I'm a single mother, I couldn't afford to luxury until I found Rondo CLT. They made my dream come true. Now I am a homeowner. Every morning I wake up and see my daughter sleep in her room before I headed to work. That makes me very happy. I love the neighborhood and the benefit that comes with home ownership. Rondo CLC also helped me to take home ownership class, so I couldn't be confident when I did get my lovely house. This bill important to me because I want other people to have the opportunity I did, even if they never thought they could. I thank you for the opportunity to testify today, and thank you to Senator Pappas for carrying this important bill. It will help many other families become homeowners, and thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Anything else, Senator Pappas, before we move to questions? All right. Members, questions or comments? All right. Seeing none, any closing comments, Senator Pappas?
Thank you just so much, Madam Chair. I know that the budget is tight, and we also know we have a housing crisis, so it's a tough situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. With that, Senate File 2950 is laid over for possible inclusion in a future omnibus. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we will move to Senate File 2848, Senator Abeler. As you are ready, you may begin.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Chair. We've talked a lot in this committee about evictions and rent control and everything, and how you're going to pay for it. This bill actually seeks to pay for eviction relief that actually some money goes to landlords. And so it's a rising problem. You asked me to be brief, and so if there's a way to find the money, it would be really nice and take the load off. But I have two testifiers, and they've also agreed to be very brief, but they're going to be spellbinding, Madam Chair. You're going to wish they would never stop. So with
Very
that,
good. Ms.
First, we're going to have
Elmy?
a story from
Yep.
Mike.
Very good.
Thank
Please
you.
introduce yourself and proceed.
Yep. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is Ramla Elmi, and I'm the Director of Housing at Isuroon. On January of last year, a mom came to Isuroon for help with her housing situation. She had 2 eviction cases filed against her for non-payment of rent, and she owed over $30,000. She was evicted from her home because she missed her court hearing, and the sheriff had already removed her from the property. She missed her court hearing due to being a DV victim. Our team stepped in and tried to negotiate with the landlord's attorney, but they refused initially. We determined a valid reason to reopen the eviction case and asked the judge to reconsider the case. After some back and forth and seeking support from legal assistance, the court reviewed the motion and scheduled a new hearing. We reached out to the landlord's attorney again, and they agreed on a settlement that waived the total amount that she owed and then expunged the 2 eviction cases from her record. And then the mom was very happy with the outcome of the expungement, and she was able to find new housing for her family.
Thank you for your testimony. Ms. Turner, please introduce yourself and proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee. My name is Mary Turner, and I have served as the chair of the board of Isuroon since 2018. It's a nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering immigrant and refugee communities in Minnesota. Thank you for the opportunity to testify in support of Senate File 2848, which provides essential funding for rental assistance and eviction prevention services, such as what you just heard from Ramla. At Isuroon, we have witnessed firsthand the housing challenges that disproportionately impact immigrant and refugee families. Many of these households face barriers such as language differences, limited access to traditional support systems, and employment instability, all of which increase their vulnerability to eviction. Without intervention, these families risk falling into homelessness, creating long-term economic and social challenges that extend beyond individual households to our broader community. This legislation allocates $2 million in fiscal year 2026 to support rental assistance and eviction prevention efforts. If enacted, this funding will allow Isuroon to continue to provide direct rental assistance to landlords on behalf of tenants struggling with overdue rent, offer mediation and legal navigation and case management service to prevent eviction before they occur, and conduct culturally responsive outreach to ensure that families in need can access these critical resources. Investing in eviction prevention is a proactive, cost-effective approach. Preventing displacement reduces reliance on emergency shelters, social service, and public health systems, and ultimately saving taxpayer dollars while preserving family stability. We are also well-positioned to administer these funds effectively. As a trusted community organization, we have a proven track record of providing culturally competent support, including housing assistance, healthcare navigation, and economic empowerment. Senate File 2848 also includes strong accountability measures, such as we would report on the number of families served, the total amount of rental assistance distributed, and the outcomes of eviction prevention efforts. These reporting requirements will ensure transparency and demonstrate the impact of the funding. Like I said, I've been the chair of Isuroon since 2018. I have seen the boots on the ground kind of organization that we have. On a shoestring budget, we administer to the needs right there on the front lines to the people as we walk in the door. Stories like what Ramla put through, that happens all the time, and we're able to give them immediate assistance. And it's an organization that is worth hanging on to, and it's an organization worth supporting. So I would plead with you to support Senate File 2848. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony.
We'll stand for questions, Madam Chair.
Questions or comments, members? Senator Abeler. I'm sorry, Lucero.
We're twins, Madam Chair. We're hard to.
I don't, Madam Chair, I don't think Senator Abeler appreciate it. So, Madam Chair, and I don't know if this is a question for Senator Abeler or maybe the department, but I guess my question is, in the universe of rent assistance, I'm looking for just perhaps a refresher reminder of what are the different entities that are providing such assistance, and how do those dollars flow? And have there been appropriations to the department that then get administered in forms of grant programs to nonprofits who then in turn provide assistance? Are there other direct appropriations to nonprofits who are in turn providing assistance, or I'm just trying to figure out, in the context of the whole universe of rent assistance payments, how this might be different and/or similar, overlapping to other flows of money.
Looks like we have someone to speak to that. Please introduce yourself and proceed.
Madam Chair, thank you. My name is Fortune Wali, the CEO of Isuroon. Thank you, sir, for that question. The reason we're here, there are a lot of rental assistant help desks around, but they're so inconsistent. Now we have about 280 people on our waiting list. Counties are running out of money, and I don't know about the department, so there aren't enough resources to support what we're doing. And therefore, because our mission is, I hope you had that one page that we distribute, our mission is help our families out of poverty. As an organization, we cannot just with the breadcrumbs that we've been thrown at. So we need resources that are consistent. As Mary Turner, my coach, said, our dollars bring, every dollar we spend, $7 back to the state. So we want to stay away from inconsistent funding, and hopefully that issue can be addressed, even though I know you are struggling with resources that are limited. But there aren't enough, and as a community of color, there isn't enough anyway, and when even everywhere is green, there's always deficit looking down on us. Thank you.
Senator Lucero.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And so just briefly, and I won't ask a question, I'll just make a comment then. So absolutely, yeah, there is not enough resources out there to meet the need or the demand that's out there. One of the things I'm contemplating with this piece of legislation, and thank you, Senator Abeler, for bringing it to be part of the conversation, is rather than appropriate money to in another bucket to be administered by another entity, would it be more efficient to increase an existing bucket by $2 million to be administered via whatever processes might be placed? That's what I'm contemplating. Again, I'm not asking a question, I'm just trying to figure out. One of the things we need to do from a government perspective is to ensure efficiency. And if there are other entities with processes currently in place that are administering yet don't have enough resources, can we simply increase an existing entity to administer to achieve the same objective? That's what's on my mind, Madam Chair. Thank you so much.
That's fine.
Senator Abeler, did you want to respond to that?
Well, I can, and I know we're short of time. So, you know, the thing about this is focused, and they're in the community now, and I understand your question exactly, and it's a worthy question. So we're bringing this idea forward as something that actually is operationally could be functional. Could you want to sense it?
Madam Chair, Senator, your question is valid and absolutely. So our community, and I think we've talked about this before, you can allocate all the money in the world because of the cultural specific, because of the language and all the lists that we have made. That's why we're requesting these dollars directly to us, and it's not the only organization that have done. During the COVID-19, we administered almost $3 million by paying rental assistance directly to us. Our finances and everything is on record. We can get you the audits, we can get you everything you need. But the idea of increasing another bureaucracy bucket into $2 million to come to us as an Isuroon is the reason that we're trying to eliminate that. We directly work with the department, but we need our own dollars to come to us so then we can do the work efficiently and effectively.
Thank you. Other questions? Senator Draheim.
Thank you. And I believe this is the flyer that you handed out. It looks like you do some good work. My only question is, you know, on the top, it says that envisions a world where Somali women and their families in Minnesota and worldwide are healthy, empowered, and thriving, which I think is wonderful. But I just want to make sure the funds are staying here in Minnesota. And, you know, the resources are very limited, especially in this committee. We're not probably going to get much of a target, which I'm sure will be announced soon. You know, so I just want to make sure that if we are investing in a program, that the funds are actually staying in Minnesota. So if someone could address that.
Senator Abeler.
Well, Mary Turner is the chairman of the board, so she could comment about that.
Ms. Turner.
Yes.
Just briefly.
Yes, as far as staying in Minnesota, we service how many zip codes, Fortune?
72, I think it's in there.
72 zip codes all across the state of Minnesota. So it's not just here, it's not just on Lake Street in South Minneapolis. It's, like I said, 72 zip codes.
But it's Minnesota.
but it is definitely Minnesota.
Senator Drahan? Okay. All right, any closing comments, Senator Abeler?
No, just thank you for the time, and I really appreciate the interest of the committee. And Senator Draheim, there's no rent control in here, and actually we're providing money to landlords in this proposal to make sure that they get whole while they help the people stay on track. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Abeler. With that, Senate File 2848 is laid over for possible inclusion in a future omnibus. All right, our next bill will be Senate File 2792, Senator Mohamed. Senator Mohamed, when you are ready, you may begin.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and members of the committee. Before you is Senate File 2792, which expands the eligibility for the Economic Development and Housing Challenge Program to include contract alternatives and tribal schools, allowing them to receive grants up to $100,000. The policy change comes at an additional cost to the state and has a strong support from educators, housing advocates, and physicians and community leaders, as well as students. Supporters emphasize its triple impact, helping students gain construction skills, creating affordable housing, and addressing youth homelessness. Schools like Gap have already demonstrated success equipping students with hands-on training while building homes for low-income families. Senate File 2792 ensures more students can participate in these life-changing programs, strengthening Minnesota's workforce and housing solutions. Thank you, Madam Chair. I've got a few testifiers, and we'll take questions.
Very good. We'll move to testifiers. First on my list is Kalik Rogers. After that, Jill Johnson. Please introduce yourself and proceed.
Hello, Madam Chair and committee members. My name is Kalik Rogers, Executive Director of Catalyst for Systems Change. And I want to thank you for making time for us to speak to this important cause. I just do want to clarify that this amendment does not require any extra funds in no way, shape, or form. This is clearly, the goal of this is to also include tribal schools and contract alternative schools, which I can take accountability for in the language, because we assume that they would be a part of the public school system to have access to the Challenge Grant funds, but which they are not. And we're bringing Guadalupe, which is Gap School, as an example, which we've made 6 case studies on how important this is. And also in the previous year, we have full bipartisan support on this because this addresses the disparities in housing, workforce, and education. So we appreciate your support on this bill, and thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Next on my list is Jill Johnson. Welcome to the committee. Please introduce yourself and proceed.
Madam Chair and members of the committee, my name is Jill Johnson. I'm the Executive Director of Change, Inc., the parent organization of Gap School. Thank you for this opportunity. I strongly support Senate File 2792, which adds contract alternative schools as eligible recipients of the Minnesota Housing Challenge Program. Gap School is a contract alternative school of St. Paul Public Schools through Minnesota's Graduation Incentives Program. The program was enacted by the Minnesota Legislature in 1987 to encourage students struggling in traditional education to re-enroll in alternative programs, offering a path to graduation for those facing various challenges. Gap School has operated as a contract alternative program since 1987. In 1994, we added a Youth Build model to our school. Youth Build provides contextualized technical education and career pathways as part of the curriculum. This programming allows students to earn an industry-recognized credential while completing their high school diploma. We currently offer healthcare and construction pathways. As part of our construction pathway, students learn and develop construction skills while building single-family homes. Over the past 30 years, we have built over 20 homes in the West Side neighborhood of St. Paul and sold them to low-income families. Today, Gap School has a diverse enrollment of 140 students, one of whom is here with me today, including 96% of the students from communities of color, 86% from low-income families, and 51% who are English language learners. Approximately 50 students are enrolled in our construction pathway. The pathway's work of building homes for low-income families and preparing opportunity youth to enter the workforce aligns with the Minnesota Housing Challenge Program's goals and objectives. Unfortunately, contract alternative schools are ineligible to apply at this time. Approving Senate File 2792 would update the eligibility to include Gap School and many other schools like ours. Participation would greatly benefit our students, our organization, and our community. I appreciate your consideration. Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee.
Thank you for your testimony. And our last testifier, please introduce yourself and proceed.
Hello, my name is Hiolo, and I'm a student from Gap student in St. Paul. I am from Vietnam, so I moved to United States in 2023. I originally live in Alabama. Since I was 21, there was not opportunity for me to go to school there, and I continued my education. I really want to finish my high school and get my diploma. And I have a friend from Vietnam who's told me he live in Minnesota, and he told me about a great opportunity at Gap School. So I just packed up my things and moved to Minnesota. I immediately enrolled in Gap School and joined the construction program. Since I want to get my diploma and I'm interested in construction, it was perfect fit. This program has really changed my life. I will soon have my high school diploma. This still enables me to join a union or go to college to choose that. If I choose that path, I have learned about nearly every area construction while building a house from the ground up over the past 2 years in Gap School. I am really proud that I was able to work on such amazing project and make the community a better place. A program like a Gap School really great thing for the state of Minnesota. The program is able to build a beautiful homes in the community where it was empty lots. Students are able to earn their high school diploma and earn construction skill. Many of the students go to have a great career and high-paid job. Hopefully, after my graduation at this spring, I can join them and have a great career in the construction industry. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. We are glad you are here in Minnesota. Senator Mohamed, any other comments before we move to questions?
We will take questions, Madam Chair. Thank you very much.
Questions or comments, members? Senator Lucero.
As a fellow proponent of building homes from the ground up, I just have to ask, what is your favorite stage of the construction process?
Mr. Lowe.
What's your favorite stage of the construction process?
So we like to build roofing, and I don't know, I love every part of them. So my favorite part is framing. Yeah.
Senator Lucero.
Awesome. Just wanted to heart to heart there.
Other questions or comments, members? All right, seeing none. Senator Mohamed, any closing comments?
Yeah, thank you for considering this, Madam Chair. I think this is just a simple change that these folks need, and they're doing a really great job, so I appreciate for hearing it.
Thank you very much. With that, Senate File 2792 is laid over for possible inclusion in a future omnibus. All right, members, as we have transitioning bill authors, we are going to take a recess for about 5 minutes. We are in recess. We will come back to order. Next, we are going to hear Senate File 2205, Senate Report. Chair
Thank
Bill.
you, Madam Chair and members. This is Senate File 2205. It is a bill to create a task force to investigate, understand, and learn about the insurance crisis that we have around property insurance, and in some cases, commercial insurance, because that's what multifamily are listed under. So this creates a task force to study that problem. Madam Chair, I do have an A2 amendment.
Senator Port moves the A2 amendment as an author's amendment. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries, and the amendment is adopted. Senator Port?
Madam Chair, we can go to my testifier then.
All right. The first testifier I have is Kizzy Downey. After that will be Jeff Filipich on Zoom. Please introduce yourself and proceed.
All right, Vice Chair Bolden, members of the committee, my name is Kizzy Downey, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Model Cities of St. Paul. I'm here today to ask you to support Senate File 2205 and establish a task force on homeowners and commercial property insurance. For nearly 60 years, Model Cities has been dedicated to fostering social and economic prosperity by providing access to opportunities that stabilize and develop families and communities. We achieve this through a diverse array of programs that span the housing continuum, including homeownership services in both commercial and residential development. Currently, Model Cities and the entire nonprofit affordable housing sector are experiencing insurance cost increases that exceed any underwriting assumptions. For our nonprofit organization, with an annual operating budget of under $5 million, insurance costs have increased by 40% over the past 4 years alone. I sat on the long-term stability of affordable housing task force, and we identified property insurance as an area where we need to dig deeper on this issue. Senate File 2205 would help us do just that. The Homeowners and Commercial Property Insurance Task Force would help us discuss the growing concerns and identify solutions. We must take measures now so affordable housing properties stay open and stay affordable. Thank you to Senators Port for championing this bill, and to Senators Lucero, Graham, Housley, and Bolden for signing on as co-authors. I appreciate the opportunity to testify today, and again, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Next, I have Jeff Filipich, and after that, Julia Nurbon. Mr. Filipich, please unmute yourself, introduce yourself, and proceed.
Hello, good afternoon. Madam Chair, the committee members, my name is Jeff Filipich. I serve as the Development Director here at Center City Housing in Duluth. Today I'm asking for your support of Senate File 2205, which establishes a statewide task force on homeowner and commercial property insurance. Center City is a deeply affordable and permanent supportive housing organization with the mission to deliver safe, stable, affordable, and supportive housing to those in most need of housing stability. Center City has over 1,000 units of housing across mostly greater Minnesota, Duluth, where we're headquartered, Rochester, Bemidji, St. Cloud, and in Grove Heights. We also develop new housing in greater Minnesota chiefly. Our most recent project in Hibbing was funded here in 2024 by Minnesota Housing, and we're looking forward to another project submission shortly in St. Cloud. And we thank that leadership team and their staff for their trust in us. They're tremendous partners in this work. Due to our static funding streams, which don't keep up with the pace of cost of operating or cost of living, we strongly feel any increased expenses to our annual budgets. And over the past 5 years, specifically the last 2, our insurance expenses have become one of the top expenses for our organization, and really increased our each individual property budget. Those rates have increased per property anywhere between 12 to 15% over those years, and that's despite our adjusting deductibles up and coverages down. So it leaves our organization also vulnerable to risks from catastrophic kind of events. Knock on wood, that never happens. But also there have been times within the last 2 years, because of who we house, it's difficult to get quotes from multiple companies, or there's more requirements that are added to us getting coverage, increasing our operational expenses. So that's why we're asking for your support of SF 2205 to address the affordability and availability trends in homeowner and commercial property insurance statewide here in Minnesota. We thank the MCCD and the Housing Stability Coalition for their work across the state. And of course, we thank you members for your work on this and so many other bills that help address all the needs of our neighbors and community partners across the state. Thank you for the opportunity to address the committee, and happy opening day for all who celebrate Go Twins. Any questions?
Thank you for your testimony. And last, we'll hear from Julia Nurbon. Please introduce yourself and proceed.
Yes, hello. Thank you, Chair Bolden and members of the committee. My name is Julia Nurbin, and I'm the Executive Director of Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light, representing hundreds of faith communities working to ensure equity in the climate justice arena. So I want to thank this committee for taking up Senate File 2205. As you know, it's going to create a task force to look at these issues. I'm imagining many of you experienced that hailstorm back in August of 2023, August 11th. It was only a 25-minute event, but it cost $1.8 billion. And I'm just thinking of the baseball-sized hail that fell in my yard. Well, what happened in the months since then is that homes up and down my block had to have their roof replaced. I think more than half of them did, and no surprise, the premiums went up. A recent report released by the Consumer Federation of America said that Minnesota, and particularly the metro area, both rank towards the top of regions experiencing diminished affordability and availability of insurance. Minnesota has seen insurers leave our state market, and we're also seeing coverage reduction. Having insurance is almost always a requirement if you want to buy a home, so this is really an equity issue that we're concerned with. We want everyone to be able to have a path towards home ownership, and we're concerned about the way that climate and weather disasters are impacting insurance's ability to make that happen. So thank you for taking up this bill.
Thank you for your testimony. Chair Port, comments before we move to questions?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think we all know, we've talked about this a lot over the last several years, that the rising insurance costs really are a barrier both to providers, both to renters, to homeowners, and they are having an impact on the ability to build as well and develop. And it's something we need to address. we really need folks at the table so that we can have a great conversation. So I look forward to moving this forward.
Thank you. Members, Senator Draheim.
Thank you, Chair Bolden and Senator Port for bringing the bill forward. You know, I'm a big supporter of the concept, and I hope we can get something done this year on this. I do think we need to tweak who's part of the task force. You know, if we read the 1.7 to 1.11, and, you know, you mentioned multifamily rental housing, but, you know, maybe the Multi-Housing Association should be a member or someone like them. And then you also mentioned small business. You know, NFIB is probably the #1 small business group that I'm aware of. I haven't talked to those. I'm not trying to appoint them, but I do think we need to address a little broader point of view, and then, you know, maybe a couple more in the insurance world. We have 2 right now that are in the insurance, and I don't know who that would be. I don't know if it would be worthwhile just to have an independent broker on there, you know, someone that boots on the ground, that deals with it every day, that could kind of give us the real world in the insurance world. But as you move forward, and I know you have more stops, those would be my suggestions. So thank you.
Senator Port.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Senator Draheim. Happy to work with you on that. We are bringing this over here from Commerce so we can try to get it done this year. But very happy to work with you on that. I think that's, you have some really good points.
Senator Lucero.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have to insist that you call on me before Senator Draheim, because he continues to steal my thunder over and over and over again. So, but to that point, one of the things that having served on the work group on HOAs and CICs, and so I know firsthand that it becomes a challenge the larger the work group gets, and it's already at 13. So just throwing the feedback out there, and you've already are expressing agreement on this, but it's just in the neighborhood of most of the people on here are the consumers of the insurance, which is one half of the equation. I think we need to get more of those who are the insurance providers, because they're going to be what are the actual recommendations we can do to change algorithms, formulas, whatever is behind that. So thank you so much, Madam Chair, and thank you, Senator Port.
All right, seeing no other comments, any closing comments, Senator Port?
Appreciate the committee's interest in this. I think it's a great step for us, and is this going somewhere else, or we're laying it over?
Yes, Chair Port, I think your motion would like to be for Senate File 2205 as amended, be recommended to pass and referred to the Committee on State and Local Government.
That is my motion.
Very good. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes, and your bill is on its way. All right, members, we have 2 more bills, and we aim to be done by 3 o'clock. So next bill is Senate File 2742. Senator Port, to your bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. 2742 is the legislative proposal of some of the recommendations from the Long-Term Solutions to Affordable Housing Task Force report that was submitted to this body on February 1st. This committee received a presentation on the report on February 25th, and we heard clearly that nonprofit affordable housing providers are facing significant financial distress due to multiple compounding factors: the aftermath of COVID, high interest rates, skyrocketing cost of property insurance, security costs, and the lack of sustainable and reliable funding for supportive services. Affordable and supportive housing providers are not in this business to reap profits. They provide accessible and stable housing to Minnesotans with some of the highest needs, and the financial model that support these buildings is challenged. This bill reflects what we heard from the task force: a need for more data, for more collaboration, and in some cases, appropriate relief to ensure that we preserve our existing affordable housing stock. As policymakers, we need to look at potential low or no-cost actions we can take to ensure preservation of homes, which we had already invested significant public resources in. And Madam Chair, I believe I have an author's amendment.
Yes, would you like to move the A2?
Yes, please.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? A2 is adopted. Shall we move to testimony? Very good. Mr. Delaney, please introduce yourself and proceed.
Hi, Chair Bolden and members of the committee, thanks for having me. My name is Will Delaney. I am interim co-executive director of Hope Community, located at Franklin and Portland Avenues in Minneapolis. Hope Community is a nonprofit community development organization that has been around since 1977, focused on community-based solutions, organizing, power building, and of course, creating quality, affordable housing, commercial, and community spaces. I'm speaking to you today in favor of Senate File 2742, unfortunately because I have a lot of experience in the realm of what happens when we can't support our affordable housing. Specifically, the Dundry House property that Hope bought in 2002 was a 25-unit building that for many years provided home, community, and a real platform for success for folks exiting long-term homelessness. But by the spring of 2021, systemic factors really turned against the operations at the Dundry House, most notably changes to our incoming resident population due to coordinated entry, wherein we were seeing residents with higher and higher needs, but not more service dollars or service capacity along with that, especially during the pandemic, along with a public safety crisis in Minneapolis that was really outside of our doors but found its way into our doors, and short of providing 24/7 security and putting in hundreds of thousands of dollars to the tune of more than $500,000 over a couple of years, it was practically impossible for us to keep our residents safe. During that time, we worked really closely with city, county, and state level staff, including at Minnesota Housing, all of whom were very supportive of what we were trying to do to try and find solutions, but we're all constrained by the kind of current restrictions and guidelines and pots of money that essentially prioritize production and major renovations, but not supporting ongoing operations. I truly believe that had the recommendations coming out of this 2742 been around, it could have saved those 25 units. Unfortunately, the story of the Dundry is that we had to board that building. It later suffered a major fire and was condemned and is now a vacant lot. The loss of 25 units of really successful housing is devastating, and so we would really urge your support of this bill because the changes in it would potentially save future affordable housing.
Thank you for your testimony. Any comments before we move to questions? Chair Port.
Madam Chair, these are just critical housing units for us to keep in this state to make sure that we don't lose them. They are the most difficult for us to replace. So I really encourage folks to support this conversation as we continue to move forward with which of these recommendations we can move forward to continue making this industry more stable.
Thank you.
Real quick.
Senator Drahan.
Thank you, Chair. So just so I understand, it's 50 million one time and then 10 million ongoing in the base. So 20 million per biennium.
Senator Port.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, it is, though we are laying this over, and I expect those numbers will change.
Okay, thank you.
Senator Drahan. Very good. Other questions? Senator Lucero.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just real brief. So on line subdivision 8, so it's line 4.16. So my question is in regards to, so this is underlined language, so it's clearly new language, but in the totality of the program or programs, is this effectively a new requirement to accept Section 8 vouchers?
Senator Port.
That is an excellent question. I don't believe so, but I'm going to phone a friend with Ms. Painter.
Or, okay.
Senator Lucero.
I was going to say we could, since it's being laid over and we're short on time, we can answer that later. So thank you.
Yeah, we'll follow up on that. Very good. Other questions? Seeing none. Senator Port.
Appreciate the continued conversation. This is an area that we have to make sure that we are continuing to pay attention to and keep in Minnesota.
Absolutely. Thank you. With that, Senate File 2742, as amended, is laid over for possible inclusion in a future omnibus. And our last bill will be Senate File 2976. Senator Port, to your bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. As we are looking at the resources that are available to housing this year, which will not be like it was last biennium where we had one-time money, We really need to make sure that these resources are being used in the areas where they are most helpful, where they are being used most effectively, and where they are most needed. And so today, here to talk about supportive housing, I'm here with my testifier, Ben Helvig-Anderson.
Mr. Helvig-Anderson, please introduce yourself and proceed.
Thank you, Chair Bolden and committee members. My name is Ben Helvig-Anderson, and I'm the Vice President of Policy and Organizing at Beacon Interfaith Housing Collaborative. Thank you, Senator Port, for working on this critical bill. This bill expands the eligible use of the state housing tax credit to include supportive services. The state housing tax credit is a powerful tool that enables donors to receive a tax credit for their contributions to a development to build or preserve affordable housing projects. But for new developments and existing, for supportive housing in particular, though, the scarcest resource for money is always service dollars, which are not eligible use right now for the state housing tax credit. This bill would strengthen the state housing tax credit by adding supportive services as an eligible use, which would allow Beacon and other supportive housing providers to fundraise for a key component of what makes supportive housing effective. It would enable us to fund both the capital and a service reserve for a new development. It would also allow us to use the preservation aspect of this tool, which we cannot do right now. Supportive housing does not have amortizing debt, so it can't use the preservation tools of refinancing currently allowed in the tax credit. The most significant help for preserving supportive housing is helping us fill the gap between service dollars we receive and the actual cost of providing quality services to our residents. By allowing providers to fundraise for services at existing buildings with the tax credit, you are helping preserve and sustain homes for youth, individuals, and families who have experienced homelessness. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Senator Port.
Madam Chair, I apologize. I had an A1 authors amendment.
Senator Draheim.
Thank you. You read my mind. I was just reading, trying to see the difference between the A1 and what's in the bill. I see they both reference 462A.37, but could we have Ms. Painter maybe just explain what the change is?
Ms. Painter.
Madam Chair and members, it's just really a technical change because the section that's being referenced describes supportive housing, not the services that would be funded for supportive housing. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
All right, to the A1 amendment, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Amendment is adopted. Senator Port.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As we have a conversation about which resources are most needed, where we need to spend our money, it's also critical that we are looking at where we are giving our money to be spent and who are our partners in that, what they're willing and able to do with those resources, and making sure that we are putting our resources in places where they are most likely to go to things that our communities need: affordable housing, housing that fits the needs of people, multifamily housing, especially affordable, and making sure that they are actually accepting those projects, that those are actually being built with the resources that this committee is putting out into the state. And so with that, Madam Chair, I have the A2 amendment.
Senator Port moves the A2 amendment. Senator Port.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This amendment readjusts the proceeds of the metropolitan sales tax for housing that we passed in 2023, and it removes the 25% that goes to the Metropolitan City Aid account and shifts that to the Metropolitan County Aid.
Thank you, Senator Port. Questions, members, or comments? Senator Clark.
Thank you, Chair. Could you just repeat that? Chair Port, I may be professing a bit of newness here. Just go through that one more time for me. Thank you.
Absolutely. In 2023, we passed sales tax, a quarter-cent sales tax, to be split between the city, metropolitan city organization, metropolitan county organization, because it is just a metro sales tax, and then also Senator Mohamed's Bring It Home program at the agency. And this, the formula was negotiated at that time, and this would remove the 25% to the metropolitan cities and shift that to the metropolitan counties.
Senator Clark.
Thank you. So the Chair, so the intent is basically you see this as a way to expedite getting more housing built.
Senator Port.
Thank you, Senator Clark, for your question. Exactly. We have seen the counties really dive in and be willing to support the kind of housing that we need built, really taking on projects that are more difficult, that our communities need, taking on the cases that require supportive housing that we are likely to see more need for in coming months. And my hope is that through this process, that money will be more efficiently spent. You know, we can also, I think we are looking at a moment when we are facing potential loss of Section 8 vouchers at the federal level. I think we could also look at shifting some more of that into the Bring It Home program to beef up the voucher program here in Minnesota.
Senator Draheim.
Thank you. And, you know, I think this is a great innovative adjustment, and I know not everybody's going to like it, but when you think about it, who's closer to the needs of the county than the county? They're the one that administer all the social programs. So I think they are probably better suited to decide where the funds are more needed, kind of prioritize. I appreciate the amendment, and I know we're short on time, so thank you.
All right, members. Senator Mohamed.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for bringing this forward. I totally understand, I think, why this is being brought forward. As somebody who obviously represents the largest city in the state that is currently going through many of their own fiscal problems, I won't be able to support it. But I really hope that the cities do come to the table and there's continued conversations. In terms of the county, I definitely think there's always more place to get money. But, you know, if you want to take it from other cities and give it to Minneapolis, I also support that as well. So maybe I could do an amendment to distribute it just for Minneapolis.
Senator Port. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Senator Mohamed. You know, I do think that there is an argument to be made for the first-class cities in the metro who have done sort of incredible work around their willingness to build the kind of housing that our communities need. I'm more than happy to talk with you about that.
All right, so to the A2 amendment, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The amendment passes. Senator Port, to your bill.
Again, members, this is, you know, sort of the end of our collection of all of the bills that have been brought to our committee this year. We will now start working on omnibus policy and eventually budget bills. And I look forward to, you know, working with all of you. I encourage you all to please send me your biggest priorities, the things, the policy pieces, and also the budget priorities that you feel are most critical throughout both our base budget and new bills that we've heard this year.
All right, with that, Senate File 2976 is laid over for possible inclusion in a future omnibus. And as was shared, we will reconvene on Tuesday, April 1st to walk through and do testimony on our budget omnibus. And then we'll do markups and passage to finance on Thursday, April 3rd, the day before second deadlines. With that, there being no further business before us, we are adjourned.